I am a Roman Catholic Christian, and I love being a Roman Catholic Christian. It's my spiritual home on earth, and it's preparing me for my eternal home in heaven. As a convert, one of the reasons that I am Catholic is today's gospel. In the 16th chapter of Matthew, our Lord Jesus asks, "Who do the people say that the Son of Man is?" His disciples had come to believe that Jesus is truly someone special, that he is someone very holy. But Peter, a very ordinary, unassuming man, a fisherman, a quick-tempered and sometimes volatile man, is graced by God the Father to answer God the Son's question. And he says, "You are our Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus looks at Peter. He sees into him, and he can see his Father working in him. And then our Lord proclaims our holy church. And it will always and forever survive every attack that Satan may throw at her. It does this because Jesus tells us so. The power of hell will never prevail over her. We humans, no matter how sinful we may be, can never destroy her. Oh yeah, we can cause her harm. We can even cause scandal. That our beloved church has lasted 21 centuries, despite our human weakness, proves our Lord's promise is very true. But again, can Satan and the sinful among us destroy her? No, no way, never. Again, our Lord teaches us this. You can bank on it, you can count on it, you can believe it. Jesus is the head of our church, and he is the way, the truth, and the life. Just this past week, we once again encountered the disturbing and disgusting alleged actions of one of my fellow clergymen in Ohio. If we give in to fear and anger and walk away from the true goodness that is Christ and his church, well, then Satan is going to win a battle. But remember, Jesus wins the ultimate victory. He wins the war. Now, each of us need to work to end the madness of things like this so that our church may be free to give the salvation and gospel message of our Lord to a much-needed world. As the Canaanite woman taught us last week, we must be strong in faith and persistent in seeking out our Lord. As I shared this with Father Dave, he asked me to also share with you the goodness that's within our church. And perhaps today more than ever we need to hear that and focus on the goodness of the many who live and guide us by imitating Jesus. There is the deep faith, the gentle example of St. Francis and St. Clare of Assisi. There is the dedication and deep compassion of St. Mother Teresa. The sacrificial love of St. Maximilian Kolbe. The saintly wisdom of St. John Paul II. The magnificent foresight and the teaching of St. Paul VI. And of course, we are blessed to have the writings and theology of a man who's still with us, Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. We have our own great examples to learn from. In the 30 years that this parish has been my home, we have been blessed with many wonderful priests. We have been blessed that they are holy people of God. We have our own examples, again, to learn from those that came before us. In our own diocese, we have Bishop John Darcy, Back in 2002, I accompanied Bishop Darcy as he ministered to the women and men in the Allen County Jail. He would do this several times a year, and I was honored to be with him. Several times he would go and offer prayers and hope to those troubled souls. In 2002, we were walking back to our cars. It was around 9:30 in the evening, and he abruptly stopped in the middle of the road, and he began to cry. The priest scandal had come to light in his beloved Boston. He was in the news because he was one of the few bishops that had tried to stop the ongoing transfer of a troubled priest. I had never put my arms around a bishop before, but this good man needed a hug. And he kept saying, as I held him, "How could a brother priest do such a thing? What is happening?" You could see his hurt and his love. My respect for him that night became my love for him. And from that day forward, I'm pleased to say I called him a friend. As I said, I love being a Roman Catholic Christian. 44 years ago, this past April, I came into the church. 44 years ago, I received Eucharist for the first time. I had longed for that since I was a child. 9 years ago, graced with ordination. And now I'm called to serve and proclaim and witness my Lord. And I must pray every day for each of you, for our deacons, our priests, our bishops, and our Pope. I must condemn all sin, especially clerical sin. And then I got to pray for them and pray for the sinner, praying that they will seek forgiveness and that the redemption that can come to them from the Lord. I need to be present and available to victims, that I can help them any way I can. Yeah, I love this old and holy church. She is goodness because she is of Christ. I believe in Jesus, who said in the gospel today, "I say unto you, you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will never, ever prevail against her." In just a few moments, through the graces of ordination of this wonderful priest, our Lord and God will be present right here. And we have the opportunity to take him into us. As you do, may that love, that divinity, embrace your very soul.